Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the black pieces against a 1749 from Mexico. We've got an e4. Let's go for a modern. I don't think I've ever really played the modern. We have an e4 d4. So let's continue with a bishop g7, I guess. One thing I do know about the modern is that you're not supposed to get your knight out for the first big chunk of the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, you're not meant to get it out until white has castled. But we have a c4 here, so this is actually turning into potentially a bit more of a King's Indian. And here, I am tempted to go with the usual King's Indian setup. I think this is probably fine. We can do like a knight d7 or a knight g4. So I know I said that you're not meant to go for it, but I think they're playing this more like a King's Indian. And as you can see here, with the knight c3, the opening choice is actually defaulted back to the King's Indian defense. So we're in familiar territory, which is great. And here we just castle. Everything's chill. They're not wanting to commit any pawns yet. Well, they could, I guess. There's nothing stopping them. And then they go bishop d3. And against bishop d3... Is it e5? Is it e5? Do the tactics still work when the bishop covers this pawn? I think they do. Because we want them to push. If they take, I'm not sure how different that is. I guess you could go like rook e7 or something and try win back the pawn that way. Let's go for it. Why not? Worst case, we go down a pawn. And I always say, so what? You're down a pawn. Oftentimes people want to give away pawns, so I don't feel anything particularly wrong with that. And they go with this push variation. So the important thing to know about the King's Indian, if you want to play it the classical way, you've got to play knight c6. Knight d7 is possible in some lines, but they're a lot of the times played slightly different. But if you want to play in the style of the King's Indian, you want to go knight c6. So what push does, it stops us going knight c6. So we've got to get our knight out some other way. So you've got to go a5. Clear the way for a6. Now you could go knight a6 straight away, but then you're susceptible to some b4 pushes. And they've played a h4, which is quite strange, to be honest. Quite strange. I don't see why we can't go h5 and make this a potential weakness. Let's go for it. Oh, sorry. Let's go for it. I don't see why we can't. I want to sort of play h5 anyway, especially when the bishop comes back. I want to get the queen on e8, which is a good square for the queen, and the knight on h7, and look to push this way. So I think this is potentially fine. The knight's going in. What's that knight doing? Nothing. Basically, it's not doing anything. Again, pushes, but like I've got this bishop out as well. Like that's another thing about not going knight d7. Your bishop's wide in the open, so I'm not stressing that. We'll just develop. And the whole point of knight a6 is to go knight c5. You could potentially reroute it this way, but with the pawn on e5, it's not covering e6. Sorry, it's not particularly doing much. So we'll go knight c5, and then you can go to d7 and work it around this way. But to be honest, you're doing more stuff actually pressuring these sorts of squares around the king. So that's sort of fine. That is sort of fine. Now the bishop's gone back to g2. I think potentially we gave them a tempo with that. Although, excuse me for the sniffles, by the way. I don't know why. I want to take this, but also like it's a bad bishop, so I'm not sure. We do need to speed up. Let's go bishop h6. It's not particularly a move I want to do, but I like to get potentially my king up and get stuff sort of pushing, And if we could trade off this knight and win this pawn, that would be very nice as well. I'm not particularly worried about my king. We have time to defend. I don't think they're doing anything crazy. So, I'm not particularly worried. Not particularly worried. And yeah, we do have 6 minutes 40 seconds, almost 7 minutes So we've used a bit of time, but I felt like it was worth explaining these sorts of things. And they go for a sacrifice, which is what? What kind of sacrifice is that? That's wild. So you're looking to do that, which makes sense, to be honest. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I get that. I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's fine. I think we just take with the rook here. We let them do this, and we win the pawn back. So it's not a massive deal. We win the pawn back, and we take with this c-knight because this knight's closer to defending, and it's doing a good job stopping g4 as well. The bishop infiltrating is a bit annoying, but again, like, it's not particularly doing anything. So I'm sort of fine with that. They haven't castled, which is important to note as well. They're going to struggle castling if they want their bishop and queen on the same diagonal. And if they castle kingside, then they're sort of leaning on to an attack. They no longer have the rook on h1. So they've gone bishop g5 here. I'm considering taking this. Considering it. With the queen hitting on g5 potentially as well. In fact, we could do a double attack and hit that potentially. And win an pawn. Oh, we could do that. We could do that. That's tempting. That is very tempting, actually. Knight takes f2. King takes. Discovered check. Takes. We win a fair bit of material with a weakened king as well. Should we go for it? Should we counterattack? Counterattack? Let's go for it. Why not? Why not? You know, live on the edge a bit. Live on the edge. We're looking to take the bishop potentially. It's dubious. It's very, very dubious. But those are the best types of games. And we have a bit of time to figure it out. I think our opponent would appreciate that because they seem to be going all out attack. And that's some of the danger of not castling, to be honest. That's some of the danger of not castling. I'm tempted to go there and get my queen in a good spot. Hitting that. Potentially play like an e4. And get rid of the bishop pair. We could alternatively take this, but our queen is still hanging. So, oh, what? You go with the king up? That can't be right. That's just mating, is it not? I mean, just take the knight. Queen takes pre-move. Bishop f5 is coming, which is going to be ridiculous for them. With these all covered as well. The pawns covering these. The knight's got to block. Oh, I mean, I'm happy, to say the least. Very, very happy. Oh, is there a better way to do this? Check. Knight blocks. Takes. King takes. Queen check. King back. Check. King up. Doesn't particularly get us anywhere, but we are getting... No, we're not getting back the piece. Check. Knight blocks. Check. Bishop blocks is really annoying. Oh, there's got to be something here, right? There's got to be. What about we throw in a rook f2? No. King takes. Ooh, queen g3 with rook f4 mate. Ooh. Then knight blocks. Takes. King takes. Queen g3, rook f1. Rook f8. Rook takes, rook takes. He's so good, right? So good. It's got to be. It has to be. Surely, you're blocking off all escape routes for the king. It's in the middle of the board. Checkmate is coming. There's nothing else, is there? There, king up. check leads to the same thing. I would have liked an e4 to get the dovetail mate in that situation. We could potentially throw in an e4, but then rook f1's coming. No, but queen g3, bishop f3 is annoying. But then queen f4, king there, check, back, and we can take this pawn. Gosh, this is wild. This is so wild. Check, king up is an option with check, king there. Leads to the same thing, unfortunately. I think queen g3 is a good move. Bishop f3, I think. They could potentially go for this, but I think that benefits me. Because we are threatening mate after all, so, you know, trading off one set of rooks isn't the end of the world. I think bishop f3 is much better. Blocking off our queen from covering these two squares. Yeah, good move, good move. Check. If there, then we can take. And go for this. Queen takes. Oh no, queen f4. King there. Push. That looks good. There. There. There, king there. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Why not? We got 1 minute 12 seconds. We're either winning this or getting completely beaten. But we are picking up the pawn. We're looking for f4 check. Bishop, queen f4 check. With hopes of e4 after king f2. Winning the piece back. Ooh. No, we just continue. We still have ideas of rook d4 winning the queen, so they have to go back. They could go there, I guess. But then the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, we push the pawn. We could even push e3, technically. But I think that's not a particularly good idea. They could counterattack our rook. Which is interesting. I think we just move it to safety, right? Oh no, we can let them take it because e3 check wins the queen. Oh wow. Oh, we could just play like a calm rook e8. Yeah, we can let them take it. No, let's just go rook f8 instead. Even. That's a nice little tactic. I like it. And now we're threatening a rook c1. They've gone for it. We win the queen. No, rook e8 would have been better to cover the pawn still. But that's fine. No, because they're not going to take because rook e8 check. Wow, they've gone for it. Takes pawn. Check, takes pawn. They've gone that way. I think we still take pawn, threaten the rook, and then get checking. They go for that. Let's just keep taking pawns. Let's keep taking pawns. Why not? They can't move the bishop. They do that. They're blocking their rooks in. Let's stay simple. Let's stay simple. We're just going to let them do it. We're just going to let them do it. 27 seconds to win. Check with mate is coming. Check. You don't go to e5 because of that. We pin the rook. Looking for h4. And then push the pawn. They go anywhere else. Rook e1 check. Takes. Okay, we move the rook up. Look for h7 with push. We could even push first, let them take, then h7. Whoa, I'll let them do that. That was stupid. It's good though. It's all good. It's all good. Where are they going to go? They can't go anywhere. They can't go anywhere. Rook's still destroyed. Yeah. Push the pawn. Why not? Push the pawn. This is too close for comfort. Not enough time. We're trapped in as well. A king that way. Luckily, we have some tricks. Luckily, we have some tricks with mating threats as well. Oh, it's not even mating threats, but we win the rook. We win the rook. Oh, we take the pawn. We take the rook first. We take the rook first, which is mate. Wow. Oh, wow. What a game that was. Holy moly. That was so stressful. So stressful. Absolutely wild. Oh, my God. Oh, that was so bad. So chaotic. We got 0 brilliance, by the way. We got 81.9%, which isn't bad, to be fair. Versus 72.5. 1550 versus 2000. We played the modern. We transferred it into a King's Indian. Apparently, knight f6 is the move here because they've committed with c4. Going into a King's Indian. And then e5 is not the move. It's not bad. It's not bad. But apparently bishop g4 is better. They play the advanced variation, so we go ahead with a5. And then they do this weird h4 move. Apparently you just continue your plan with knight h6. But we went with h5, which still isn't particularly bad. Continue the plan. Let them in. This knight's not doing anything, remember. And then we let it do something. We let it do something, which is unfortunate. Whoa, what? Oh, you go there instead, which is so much more deadly. Ah. Ooh, really? So this was a huge mistake because we let them do these ideas. Apparently, knight e6 is the best move. So I'm guessing bishop takes. Knight takes better then? F takes? F takes is better. Yeah, because then you're just up a piece, aren't you? You're just up a piece. Rather than trading, you might as well win the piece. Bishop takes, I'm guessing. Yeah, and then they get tempo on the rook. Apparently not even the best move, though. Wowzer. Rook f7. No, it is the best move. What? E takes d5 is better. Wild. Not knight takes, duh. E takes. Bishop takes f8. d4? What? There's no way you can claim you're better. You're down a whole rook. You're down a whole rook, my friend. b4, yeah. Knight e6, and you're still not taking the bishop. Bishop moves back to freedom. King h7, the bishop's completely free, and you take the knight. And apparently this is, I mean, only slightly better for white. You know, it's 1.3, so it's still completely playable. That's wild. They go with the more human option, which apparently is fine for black. We decided to take the pawn. We took the wrong knight, though. And I get that it frees up the f-file, so you can start an attack on the king. And then apparently this brilliant move, this quote-unquote brilliant move, is a complete blunder. The best move is queen f8. And that makes sense. Pre-doubling before sacking. Obviously going to be way better. Yeah, so king takes. Clearly best move. Check. We take the bishop. I didn't get why they moved their king up. That made no sense to me. It's just wide open. Especially after takes. You're begging to be checkmated, basically. Yeah, clearly you just go king g1. Way better. So safe. And I'm basically claiming that I have, what's that, a piece for 2 pawns. And your king's surprisingly safe here. Surprisingly safe. You've got like a rook h2. I've got no dark squared bishop. Your queen can come in as well. Your bishop can cover. It's super safe for you. And this is 1.7 for white. But knight takes, and then we get this check, and this is just so good. We get the check, and bishop takes is actually the right move, which is brilliant. It's 4.28. We go with this queen g3 idea. Apparently, the best thing is just to check with the rook, and then I guess go queen g3. Let's have a look at the analysis. King d3. Yeah, if you go up, that's mating 2 because of rook f3. Because that's rook f3 with the discovered. Oh wow, double check. Wow. King takes, and then queen f4's mate. Wow, that's beautiful. So you go king d3 to avoid that. Then rook d4. Oh yeah, you just go. Yeah, you just win the queen. You just win the queen. Duh. I should have seen that. Really, we go queen g3. I thought that cut off the king a bit more, but bishop f3 is a really good move, and they should be happy they found that. We took the pawn. Is slightly not a good move. It's from 3.7 minus 3.7 for black to minus 2.1, so it's still winning, but yeah, they kicks about a bit. We get some more checks. We play e4 with this pin on the bishop, and eventually we'll get our material back with a rook f7, sacrificing this rook. Apparently the best move is a4, just to sort of force the queen to do something, I guess, but we did the same, and then we're up a queen. We're up a queen for what? A rook and a piece, which is still like not the worst trade in the world, but with the king in the middle of the board, I would much rather have the queen. We could be a bit more accurate here. We decided to grab a few pawns, especially with the king on h2. You can do basically anything. We did end up giving up a pawn, which was regrettable, but again, you know, there is, you know, there's nothing White can do. Anyway, that was absolutely wild. My heart is still racing after that. We were good on time there, you know. It's scary being in time trouble without an increment, but I think we handled that pretty well. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.